Hello, everyone, and welcome to Amaterasu's Presence. Today, we're going to see a great match between the Knights of Knee and the Smite 2 enjoyers. I am Bloody Lifetime. With me on the cast is ZombieTantalus, and on production is Tess. How we doing, Zombie? After seeing some bands already out and a Baki Gojira insta lock here.
Bloody, I'm a little surprised at the Bake Kujira lock-in. I, I don't know. Like, maybe this is some kind of team comp strat we've got going here. Maybe their solo laner just really likes that god, but I'm a little surprised with the Chiron, the Achilles coming in. Toph is still on the table. There's still a lot of gods that could kind of come out here. This could be explosive.
I have to agree with you right now. That Thoth would look mighty good on top of that Baki Gojira, and we're gonna see a Thoth and a Thanatos here. That is one disgusting comp coming out for them on that side.
Yeah. As a consummate squishy player for most of my Smite career, Bake Kujira and Thanatos is not very high on the list of stuff I want running at me in the backline. Um, great lock-ins there. Now, over on this other side, we've got the Chiron, which, in some previous casts we've discussed, we'll now discuss again. Bluestone Hunters are moving back up in the mid meta all around. They're looking really good. So I like this Chiron pickup. Achilles still very strong, and Ares, not necessarily the best support in the world, but he does a massive amount of damage.
Yeah, Ares right now in a surprisingly good spot due to the no escape and the shackles. Is able to cripple you, able to keep you down, and pull you back in if he needs to. Surprisingly in a good spot, as for a long time in Smite history, he's either really good or really bad. And right now he's kind of in a very balanced spot. And you mentioned this Chiron, this Achilles coming out of this team. And we mentioned that this Chiron, able to come back into the mid lane with Bluestone. But here's my question, Zombie. Do you think this might be a Chiron ADC, or do you think this Chiron is for sure going to be going into the mid lane?
Um, I would. Okay, now I'm just confused. So, this set could very easily go into the mid lane. Chiron could go into the mid lane. The only way I'm going to be able to make a decent guess here is if they do actually lock a mage in for that last slot.
Yeah, I have to agree with you. Without knowing the last slot of that team, it's really hard to know who's going where, especially with the set locked in. We saw that a lot by a pro player by the name of Pagon going Susano, Set Mid, and many other gods of that nature to really counteract the Thoth in the mid lane. So it looks like they're going to be might be trying to do something similar, or this set going into the jungle, or for all we know, this could be a set solo Achilles jungle. We just have no clue right now.
Yeah, there's some pretty serious flex potential there. Feed Me More is looking to lock in this next pick. I'd almost expect to see something like Rama or Ishtar, but of course he's going to lock Heim if nothing but to spite me.
Well, Heim in a decent spot, is one of those guys that is kind of like that mix between a Bluestone hunter and an auto attack based hunter. It's always questionable on which one he goes with. And it's usually whichever one's more prevalent in the meta and whichever one, just happens to be stronger at the moment, able to do double duty in that regard. And finally, Dan the Dino locking in the Kuzenbo for his team, a god that is in such a strong place right now, able to use those shell spikes, able to, just do so much. And Zombie, I think we know
All
where they're
right.
going with those Osiris
Oh,
lock.
okay. So, huh. All right. Well, we, do we? Okay, so that's got to be an Osiris jungle. The set's going mid, and the Chiron's going carry, right?
I think you're trolling me. I think this is Achilles jungle in set mid and Osiris solo.
I
It's one of the two, but I think the Achilles with the execute might be used in the jungle instead.
I think Achilles almost has to be the solo here. I where it's got to be. I'm putting my foot down. That has got to be an Achilles solo. That Osiris is going jungle, and that set is going mid. I it has to be. They may
R-
do something to spite me here, but th- it's got to be.
All right, everyone, we're hopping into game number one here as we're getting set up. And, looking at these teams, Zombie, what is your thoughts off these drafts? Who do you think has the edge on paper here going into game number one?
Well, I definitely think that the Smite 2 enjoyers have something of a more traditional composition, and they have a very good artillery mage to back it up, which means that, like, first and foremost, they're going to have a pretty severe and clear advantage in the secure department on these objectives. Knights of Knee are going to have to make sure that Toth is either dead or on the other side of the map before they pull one of these objectives, because they do not out secure him ever. That said, though, between set, Osiris, Chiron, some of these ranged abilities, they may actually be able to get to this set. Knights of Knee have some crazy dive potential.
Yeah, they have that ability to just W key, just be able to get into these fights. And Zombie, I have to give you credit where credit is due. That is a Osiris going into the jungle for the team of the Knights of Knee.
It look, I had to put my foot down somewhere. This could only get so weird. Um, I'm expecting to kind of maybe see him go for this mannequins build out of the jungle. Um, you could kind of make an argument to go Boombas or to go Protector, but like mannequins is just it's so good, especially when you have these cleave autos on Osiris, and you're going to be building him as kind of a hybrid. It's not going to be too dissimilar to like the solo Osiris Bologna build that's going on now. So he's still going to have a massive damage output potential and be really hard to kill.
Yeah, and looking at these builds, Zombie, is there anything that really stands out to you that really piques your interest from either of these two teams?
Well, Bake Kujira has started this tainted steel. Um, Definitely a good item into, Iron set Achilles. I do like that he's kind of opted for that. Um, but outside of that, set going for this Warriors Axe start, and I think that's gonna give him a solid edge here in this mid lane.
I have to agree. And now Elden Ring Lover is sitting on this side, is going to blink in. Ares is going to get pulled, and Ares in deep trouble, going to get hit with the knockup. And there, Elden Ring Lover with the first blood for the Smite 2 enjoyers here.
There you have it. Uh, Fan was there. The Osiris was not, and a big part of that's gonna be just the clear on that Thanatos. Um, you've got that first blood in the pocket. Now we're gonna be over here contesting these mids, and Osiris did not get the better end of that trade with Toth there for sure.
Yeah, this Thoth already doing quite a bit of damage, having this conduit gem item over the sands of time, giving him a lot of pressure in this lane. So, Zombie, as we start to look towards these rotations, like, everyone just getting their farm through the early, how big of a deal is it that Thana was able to get first blood there?
Well, when you talk about gods, jungle gods, and Smite, you have to talk about kind of the snowball gods, the ones that can really get ahead and run a game. And Thanatos is pretty damn high on that list. Not where, you want to see that first kill going in the pocket of if you're Knights of Knee, but they do have a team that's very capable of dealing with it. You know what I mean? You've got this Chiron, you've got this Set, you've got the Osiris, Achilles. You have 3 tanks. You've got a lot of damage output, a lot of rundown potential. You've definitely got the potential to do something about it. We're just gonna have to see how they play it.
Yeah, and it's just right now, both teams taking things pretty slow, other than Elden Ring Lover's gank early on. And we're going to see these teams kind of really start to find their marks and really start to fight right around that 12-minute mark when that first beacon comes up. That's going to be the first real major fight of this game and going to be where these teams try and push the envelope. But right now, Osiris
Uh-oh.
deep into the jungle. I don't think this man has anywhere to go.
Oh,
And just feed me more. He's gonna send that final judgment, and Osiris will meet the grayscale.
that is unfortunate. Osiris, Eba came down. He was trying to get some invades off, trying to get some XP in his pocket. And the Smite 2 enjoyers converged. Oh my lord.
And now this Achilles Father is just going to eat that hovering death. The blink off Elden Ring Lover is true. Then Smite 2 enjoyers gonna find themselves another kill on this solo side. Up 3 kills to 0 thus far, Zombie.
I just didn't expect to see an Achilles go down that fast. Although, I mean, I guess he's building into Jotun's Wrath, so there's no real, protections going on there, but holy cow. That was, man. So, we're down 3-0 now, and this is a little over a 2,000 gold lead in 4 minutes. It's not looking great.
But yeah, with a late team comp like what the Knights of Knee have, they still have a lot of room to get back into this game. Right now, Eva needs to run away. This Thanatos thirsting for blood, and his pathing might have just punished him. It is going to be used to force to use that Lure of the Afterlife ultimate to get out of there. So close to getting killed by the Thanatos since the scythe was in the air, but now it's Elden Ring Lover that potentially in danger, but the slow immunity will be enough to get him out.
No, Toth was creeping up to that side, and Toth is now level 8 with a Book of Toth online. I do not think Chubby really wanted to poke his head over that corner too far. This is a great lead they've got. Oh my.
Oh, wow. That teleport is scary for the sake of Chubby Ostrich. Not going to be able to get punished. This Thoth of just Feed Me More just not having the buttons. Now an invade onto the side of the Smite 2 enjoyer is going to be able to force the Hovering Death out early. But this Thoth finally making the rotation. But that is not going to find him anything. But it is going to give them enough space to secure their purple and secure their green.
Yeah, I mean, the Knights of Knee are kind of trying to find anything they can right now, whether it's an invade, oh boy.
Oh, speak of things going on, Set with the ultimate, gonna chase just Feed Me More under the tower. That man had no dash, and he is gonna go down so fast.
Very fast, Bloody, and that's right there. You see one of the issues of playing Toth into a composition like this, particularly gods like Set, where if they know that dash is committed and they've got space to get on you, you got nowhere to go.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things where Set with that Kingslayer ultimate, just able to do whatever he wants with that lifesteal, and just able to get it done there, eating 3 shower shots and still being able to survive. Absolutely crazy to be doing this early.
God bless Warrior's Axe, my man. That's That is crazy. Great play from Set there, though. You had to find something. That's what they're looking for is something. And Toth was getting pretty big, so a shutdown onto him at this point, that is best case scenario.
That I
Which,
have to agree with you on. And now this set able to get his transcendence started, going to be able to start getting his own stacking item online as well.
yeah, and Toth is going to have to be careful. He's gonna get the beads taken there, but he's gonna have to be very careful in the future here about how he uses that dash, and more importantly, who he uses it in front of. Because, as Set gets a few more items online, as Osiris gets a couple of these items online. Oh, speaking
Speaking
of
of the
Toth,
Cove, he's going to get hit for a lot. And Thanatos now going into the Hovering Death, trying to track down Chubby Ostrich, is going to be just off the mark. The Watery Grave going to be able to keep this Thanatos alive. He's going to be able to use that Kuzumbo to find the kill, but that Kuzumbo taking the kill will cost Elden Ring Lover his life, as he's not able to get the healing off finding a kill there.
it's an unfortunate circumstance, but this is comp. Like you secure the kills however you can. The amount of times that we've watched people walk away from a fight with 15 health left to their name. You just got to get in there and snag it if you can get it. Um, I'm kind of expecting this first beacon fight to be something of a banger. Toth has had a pretty solid performance so far. Set's getting some of these items online. We're starting to see some of the skirmishing potential. Uh,
Now
Osiris, though.
Osiris coming in on the rotation. The Chiron is taking a lot of damage. The Osiris needs to get into the mix, but he's gonna abandon his Chiron to die here. A very questionable play. Iba is now going to get rotated in on the backside by Dan the Dino on this Kuzumbo, and it's going to be forced out. If I'm Annie Mexio right there, I have to feel betrayed.
Yeah, that was something of a betrayal. You were not incorrect there. Oh no. Oh,
And
Seth.
now Chubby Ostrich in a predicament, taking a lot of damage, and he's going to get rooted and put into execute threshold. Elden Ring Lover able to find the kill, off to a 3-1 start on this Thanatos.
Yeah, and he's doing crazy damage right now. That 3-1 start's a big deal. And, to Iba's credit, he is keeping up in level. He is keeping up in farm. But, with Thana getting these kills all over the place, that's a limited time offer. You're only going to be able to do that so long before you've got to get some returns of your own.
Yeah, and now a deep dive under the tower for this Achilles. The whale is slapping. The whale is going to be able to tank and stall out just long enough for Elden Ring Lover to find the kill. Now the Ares coming on the backside, looking for some chains, looking for an ultimate onto these members of the Smite 2 enjoyers. Gonna find a whale, but that is not gonna find him any kills. Now he might be in danger of losing his life himself. Thanatos will come down. He's trapped in the corner, going to eat ult after ult and fall. Another kill going the way of Elden Ring Lover and the Smite 2 enjoyers.
This is getting out of hand pretty quickly. Smite 2 enjoyers are all over this map. They are giving up nothing. They are not giving the Knights of Nia way back in. And, the gold lead is sitting somewhere in the 5K vicinity, maybe approaching 6 now. We're only 11 minutes in. That beacon hasn't even spawned yet, my man. This is going to be an uphill fight for the Knights of Nia.
Yeah, and right now, you look at the XP per minute, the only person on the side of the Knights of Nia ahead of anyone on the Smite 2 enjoyers is this Osiris above the support of Dan the Dino, and that is flickering back and forth between those two. Right now, the Smite 2 enjoyers firmly in the XP lead over every role right now.
Yeah, it's just not what you want to see. if you were the Knights of Knee, and with a deficit like this far in, um, they're almost certainly going to have to give up this beacon unless the Smite 2 enjoyers just decide not to go anywhere near it, which looks like it may be a possibility. But they're coming in now.
And to the hovering death already going in onto the set, gonna force the beads early. The no escape gonna pull back in the Kuzan, but he's gonna be able to use that Wargrave. And big final judgment hits two. That Osiris is gonna go down to it. The set is rooted. The whale is chasing him down, and a huge Heimdall. His ultimate's gonna catch the Ares max range, bringing him back into the squad. And now the Smite 2 Enjoyer is going to be able to pick up this beacon, pick up 2 kills, and now they're looking towards the Gold Fury.
As they absolutely should. It's kind of what I was saying about this kind of deficit. Like, the only way the Knights of Knee get that is if the Smite 2 Enjoyers just don't show up to it, right? And, they tried to kind of stand their ground there for a second, and there were 5 members of the Smite 2 Enjoyers there very quickly. That turned bad fast.
Yeah, I have to ask, how did that Heimdall hit that through the realms? It was max range. I don't know how he got that Ares there.
Sometimes you just hit it, man. Oh boy.
Well, Ellen Ring
he's
is
out.
going to be forced to use the hovering death out, having got trapped in by Chubby Ostrich and OJ Man, and gonna be able to get to safety. Now the question is, do you think that the Smite 2 Enjoyers are going to set up for this Pyro, or do you think this is something that the Knights of Knee can maybe sneak away from them?
I don't think the Knights of Knee are in a position to sneak anything at this point. This kind of draft that they have went with, this kind of hyper aggressive dive, kind of snowball type comp, if you're getting shut down in the early game like this, it's gonna be very difficult.
Well, this fight is going to be picked up. The no escape is down, but so is those speeds after that. If they can find a way in, they could find something, but they're going to back off. And the Smite 2 Enjoyers are going to be able to easily pick up this Pyromancer with no contestation, more gold, more XP in their pocket. Now out to an 8,000 gold lead at the moment.
Yeah, 8,000 at 14 minutes. One of the terms I used to use in some of my earlier cast was like "uh-oh" territory, and we're there. We are in "uh-oh" territory for the Knights of Knee. Like, this is a pretty significant deficit. You're talking full item leads in some cases on multiple characters. And they're not letting up at all. Chiron's going to go down with them too here. He's 3 levels down. This is turning into just kind of a downhill slide here. The only real way out of this is going to be for... Oh no.
It's gonna come in. That set's gonna use his Aegis, but it is not gonna be enough. That Thanatos is slapping right now. Is they're gonna be able to find the kill? The final judgment is raining in onto the Osiris, trying to find a kill here. Is the Smite 2 Enjoyers? They have this Ares trapped in. He is slowly but surely getting shredded down to a quarter, running for his life, but it will not be enough. He will go down. Now the whale is here. The disruption is going to be enough to stall them out, but not enough to sell Elden Ring Lover. Now it's a 3-on-3 on behind this tier 2 tower. Chiron almost losing his life. And while all this is happening, the Heimdall of Jose Manit is taking towers on the left side, able to take the T2, and realizing that his team is gone, not going to press his luck for the Phoenix. Would have lost his life for the cause.
Well, and I feel like that's why they engaged that fight the way that they did. because, that was a T1 and 2 tower. You've got a lot of gold in pocket. You just got the T1 and right as well. Gold Fury's not up. It is now. Pyro's going to be back up in a minute or two. And, what I was saying before that broke out is like with an XP difference and a gold difference this wild, your only real way back in is for the Smite 2 enjoyers to make a pretty egregious mistake.
Yeah, but that is always a possibility. I mean, even though the Smite 2 enjoyers found 2 to 3 kills in that fight, they did lose their Thanatos. They did give the Knights of Knee a big shutdown onto him. So right now, able to try and do something, and they're already going to get the Thoth beads again. But the hovering death is here. This set is going to go away instantly, and now Ares trapped in is going to be slowed to his demise. He has nowhere to go. He will fall as well. And now they are looking to go for this Gold Fury. Do you think anyone's going to step up to this zombie?
I don't see how you could. The biggest thing you need right now for the Knights of Knee is farm. And one thing that the Smite 2 enjoyers are doing very well is denying every bit of that they possibly can. You got a 3-level lead in the solo, 4 levels in the mid, 4 levels in the support, 4 levels in the jungle, or the carry, excuse me. It's you're at a point now where you have to just get whatever scraps of farm you can find on this map.
Yeah, and right now, as you say, it's just looking really rough for the Knights of Knee at this moment. But the Smite 2 Enjoyer is going to be grabbing this Pyromancer and are now looking at a 19-minute Fire Giant, and they're fully capable of doing this. They have everyone here. They have the word coverage, and most importantly, they have the secure if they need it, but they don't even need the Thoful. Able to conserve it for the next fight. They will burn the Hovering Death, though, to try and zone anyone out. So that Thanatos XQ is going to be down here for about a minute and a half to a minute if he can find some kills and reduce that cooldown. So right now, they're going to look towards, these last 2 tier 2 towers and then maybe look towards these birds. They are going to go ahead and decide to back and buy first, though. What kind of items do you think they're going to be purchasing to round out these builds?
I'm expecting Heim to probably end up something to the tune of a Titan's Bane on the back end of this build. Kuzenbo might be going into a mystical mail that honestly could be an Emperor's Armor too, just to try and make easier the sieges. A lot of this stuff, Thanatos maybe go for like the brawlers here to try and deal with the healing, but at this point, you're so far ahead that it's like it's a luxury item at this point. This T2 is going to go down pretty fast, and I don't see any reason that they don't just immediately move for Phoenix following.
And they absolutely are. Don't even worry about the minions. A big no escape gonna come through, gonna get 2 sets of beads, but this bird is no more. Osiris on the Thoth in the back lines, gonna be forced to ultimate out, and now the Ares just eating everything. This man's level 13, is not able to tank these Thoth shots, gonna be forced out. So is the Chiron. They're not looking for a kill onto the Achilles, gonna force the Fatal Strike out. This is a lot of pressure that they're putting onto this team. Looking for this left side bird. They are still healthy. Kuzenbo gonna pull the Osiris in. Bird will go down. Set dives to the backlines, but loses out on the Osiris. Gonna lose his life as well for diving in between 5. That's 2 down. Now they're looking for this Achilles, who does not have the ultimate to get out, does not have that CC immunity. Elden Ring gonna find him a double. Third one has fallen. Looking to zone out the Ares, looking for this Titan. Right now, these Thoth able to free cast in the backlines. It's half. Hovering Death to zone them out. It's a quarter, and Smite 2 enjoyers are going to take game number 1.
in convincing fashion. Um, this is one of those games where, if you're the Knights of Knee, you have to throw that composition completely out the window and just go back to the drawing board. Because what you tried to do, it didn't work, and that's all right. That's why we play best of threes, best of fives. You've got a second chance here, so you got to come up with something different.
Yeah, and we saw in this game how potent that Thoth was on Feed Me More, just able to set up for his team, play so safe. We saw that him and his Kuzenbo unable to be killed throughout that game. Their Thanatos going 8-2. This was a match where everyone on that team was firing on all cylinders. They were working so well together, and they were just feeding off of each other, and were able to just do so well, able to take that game in convincing fashion. If you are the side of the Knights of Knee, what do you think that they have to do going into game number two?
Well, like first off, I've seen Chubby Ostrich play for years. He's a very good mid. Um, the set pick, it didn't do what you wanted, and maybe now we look towards some more traditional picks. Um, I remember seeing a lot of Baba Yaga out of Chubby in the day. Um, you can try and make a band draft for the Kukulkan, even in Agni, Merlin. Grab that Toth for that matter. But you're gonna have to change the draft up here. Uh, just and it's like I said, you after a game like that, you've got to go completely back to the drawing board.
I have to agree with you, Zombie, but here we're going to start getting set up for game number two. So we're going to take a quick break, and we hope to reconvene and see y'all there.